Hey, all Keith here from the Emerald Minecarts. Welcome back to another video where I show off all my collections, and today I'm going to be showing off my Youtoozes. Now, I heard about Youtooz during the early 2020s, so I think somewhere around 2021 or 2022, somewhere around that time period, and at first I was really interested because it's like, oh, hey, we have a company that makes vinyl figures for YouTubers, especially since, if you were keeping up with stuff like Funko Pops, which I still keep up to this day, even if obviously, there are better collectibles, you would know that there aren't really a lot of YouTuber Funko Pops. In fact, there's barely any YouTuber Funko Pops. I mean, I do remember seeing this Odd Ones Out one a while ago, and I guess the Skibidi Toilet ones count since it's a creation by a YouTuber. I don't know. But yeah, and despite the fact that I said earlier that's like, at first I was interested, like, I'm still interested in Youtooz, is obviously. It's just, unlike Funko Pops, they're not, like, too expensive, and you can always get most of the ones you want anytime you want, really. Which, look, that's not me hating on Youtoozes. Obviously, I love Youtooz as well, but, Youtoozes are $30, and sometimes they're only available for, like, a couple of weeks, and then they're gone, which, I know Youtoozes whole thing is like, oh, they're limited edition, but I just kind of wish they made it where it's, like, not available for only a couple of weeks. Just keep it at only a couple of months, please, because some of us don't get... what I'm trying to say is, not all of us have the money to constantly spend money on Youtoozes. But yeah, so that little rant, I don't want you to think that I went on that rant because, oh, I hate Youtoozes, because, no, I don't. And because if I hated Youtoozes, I wouldn't already have a full row completed on the shelf that I keep them on. And also, okay, obviously before I show off my collection too, I do have two other Youtoozes that are coming soon. One is the Funtime Foxy Youtooz, and another is this Valentine's Day themed Ghostface one. So yeah. Anyways, let me get the first one. Okay, so first one is Roxane Wolf. This is the first ever Youtooz that I got. I want to get the other Glam Rocks eventually, which hopefully they're not too expensive on the aftermarket. But yeah, this is Roxane Wolf. As you can see, it's honestly really good. It's a pretty good Youtooz, which is one of the compliments that most people can give Youtooz, or not compliments, one of the pros of Youtooz. Like, they are pretty good looking. Like, they have a bunch of detail, the paint is good, and obviously they look better than Funko Pops, so, there's that. But yeah, actually, this Youtooz actually was for a bit damaged. Like, part of the, like, there was some chipping on the nose that I had to color in with a Sharpie, so yeah, that's really the only damage that this one went through, thankfully. But yeah, honestly, this one is my favorite because, I like Roxane, but, you all know which FNAF character I like a lot more. Alright. Next up is Luna from Hell of a Boss. And as you can see, it looks exactly like her, but you may notice that she doesn't completely have the classic Youtooz eyes, it's only in the pupil, which that is something that I do see some people complain about the Youtoozes, that not all of them all have the same closed eyes that most Youtoozes are known for. But honestly, I don't mind it, actually. It actually, like, sure, if you look at this from afar, you might think, oh, it isn't Youtooz. You can only tell it's from Youtooz because of, like, the little thing in the eye. But honestly, this isn't that bad. And as usual, the painting and sculpting on this figure is actually pretty good, because once again, Youtoozes are mostly high quality. I say mostly high quality because there have been some people who have gotten their Youtoozes and they've been broken a bit, so, I just needed to clarify that they're mostly high quality. But yeah, obviously this isn't the only Hell of a Boss Youtooz that I plan on getting eventually, or getting, sorry, lose my train of thought. Alright. Next up we have is the Luke the Notable Youtooz. I actually won this in a giveaway, in the only Youtooz giveaway that I've won currently. I have entered more giveaways and I sadly haven't won them, but I was really happy when I won this Youtooz because I do like Luke the Notable. He's like, okay, well, I may not watch him all the time. I do like his 100 day series and his main 100-day series. Like, he's like, what, on like 5,000 days of his hardcore world or something? I don't know. It's been a while since I checked. Also, another thing I should mention is that some of that, no, not some of these, but most of these are pretty dusty. So after this video, I'm definitely gonna have to dust these guys off. So yeah, and yeah, the Youtooz is just his head, and also, so this is definitely a Youtooz that you have to be very careful, especially if you are messy. Now, I'm not saying I'm messy, but sometimes I can be messy. And I would like to not stain this because he is all white. So, yeah. Oh, see, looks pretty good. I quite like it. Then, next up, we have the MatPat Youtooz. Now, before this came out during MatPat's retirement of game series, I actually thought they already made a MatPat Youtooz. But no, they didn't. This is the first and okay, not only, but basically the first MatPat Youtooz. So yeah, obviously comes with like this little lore timeline board with with a psychic friend Fredbear. 10 points if you get the reference. But there is one downside. When I got this, it came chipped. Like the paint was like messed up here. I don't know why. Obviously, I plan on like probably like painting over this paint mistake here eventually, but I don't know when that would be. But yeah, honestly, besides that, I really like this one, and I do plan on getting some of the other MatPat YouTube stuff off of eBay if we can get for a decent price. So yeah. Next up we have is Mangle. Now this is also another really freaking amazing Youtooz. Like, they got her body and her body shape and build perfect, as you can see, back to the Youtooz eyes. And yeah, honestly, really good. I quite like this, although I wish the tail was a fox tail, but I know it's a poodle tail in canon, but I don't care. So yeah, honestly, this looks freaking amazing. And of course, I got the mango pin as well because, but okay. So, little fun fact about my OC slash channel mascot. Before they were a Funtime Foxy, they were mango themed because, I liked and still do like Mangle. But then eventually I started to look through the other FNAF characters and I realized, oh wait, Funtime Foxy exists. And then eventually later on, I would realize that while Scott himself hasn't said it, Funtime Foxy is essentially just the animatronic equivalent of being gender fluid. I'm just saying, obviously, I'm not the only one out there who headcanons Funtime Foxy as gender fluid, so yeah, but yeah, honestly, pretty good. I quite like this, and thankfully, this one has not fallen apart on me. Thankfully. I say that because I remember seeing someone who got their Mango Youtooz and it fell apart. And like, someone made a joke about, well, it's accurate because, Mango's usually in pieces. Kind of like my mental states. But anyways. Alright. Next up we have is the Doom Guy Youtooz. This is obviously of his classic design. And he is on a piece of Mars or Hell, whichever one, and he is holding the classic double barrel shotgun, which is one of the best type of shotguns to ever exist. But yeah, honestly, I quite like this one, and once again, I do plan on getting the other Doom Youtooz eventually when I have stable income. But yeah, so yeah, honestly, really good. Quite like this. Next up we have is Nightmare Fredbear. Besides Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Fredbear is my personal favorite Nightmare animatronic. Is it because he's just like a big monstrous boy who's also very chubby? And Maybe I might have a thing for characters with his body type, but that's not beside. But that's besides the point. So yeah, honestly, looks pretty good. And while yes, this is also another Youtooz where like the classic Youtooz eyes is only seen in like the pupils. Honestly, he looks pretty good. Quite like this. Obviously, like most of Youtooz, painting and sculpting on this guy, honestly really good. I'm really happy that I got this guy. And also, if you're curious, no, I don't plan on doing a separate video looking at all the Youtooz plushies I have. So, yeah, but honestly, this guy's pretty good. And of course, I also have the pin of him. And finally, for now, we have the Call of Duty X Jason Universe Jason Voorhees, or Jason. They're unable to call him Voorhees or Jason Voorhees. They can only call him Jason. And yeah, can you tell that I'm very confused with the whole situation of like who owns what? Because I'm very confused, and I really wish things just went back to normal. But yeah, so this is, I think, a Youtooz of a skin that Jason had in a Call of Duty game he was put in. I don't know, but honestly, the idea of Jason Voorhees being in tactical gear is funny because that implies that, oh, he's Jason has held a gun before, which actually, little fun fact, I think for part 6, I remember hearing this in like a fun fact, like a top 10 fun fact about Jason Voorhees video, but apparently in part 6, there was a scene where like Jason would have used guns. I don't know if it's completely true because it's a video from a YouTuber and not all of us YouTubers can be trusted, but it just, I don't know, I just wanted to bring that up because I think it would have been really funny but also really cool just for a bit to see Jason Voorhees wield a gun. But then again, you can do that in Fortnite and Call of Duty. But anyways, yeah, honestly, looks pretty cool. And I really like how, like, the base he's on is, like, a bunch of blood because, you know, Friday 13th, gory, Jason, quite violent. So, yeah. So, yeah, those are all the Youtooz that I have currently. And like I mentioned earlier, I do have some more coming on the way. The Funtime Foxy Youtooz and this Valentine's Day themed, the Ghostface one. So, yeah, obviously, I'm going to continue to order Youtooz whenever I can. Hopefully, I can get a lot more once I have, you know, a stable income and my own place. I know me having my own place isn't required for buying Youtooz, but you know, obviously I'm going to need more space for my collectibles eventually. But yeah, so anyways, that was it for this video. Make sure you all subscribe and like for more, and I'll see you all later. Peace out, home guards, and goodbye! Hello! It is I, Kate of T3 Productions, and in this special video, or segment of the video, I have a special announcement. And what could that announcement be? That's right, I have brand new merchandise! Again! So, you're probably curious, Kate, what is this brand new merchandise that you have? Well, I have shirts, hoodies, stickers, a duffel bag, and bucket pins. Yeah, look how exciting that is. And I also have some epic mouse pads that will totally increase your gaming capability. Obviously, all this stuff was designed by me, yours truly, so, you know, because of that, there's a chance you might get bullied for wearing some of this merch. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What matters is, all of this merch looks pretty freaking sick in my personal opinion because, you know, I designed it. So, yeah. So, go down in the link in the description where you can buy my heckin' eepin' oppin' epic merchandise. You and me, driving through